most often we put in a huge effort in finding the alpha stocks or multi-bagger or a great value stock which can outperform the broader benchmark index over a long period of time, but which can give us a great return on our investment. There are various investment themes for year 2020, but the one which I believe will be apt is companies which are a stock or commodity exchange. Yes, the company which are stock or commodity exchange, it can be a good stock as well. There's a famous quote, there's a darkness under the lamp. Quite on similar line, there's an investment theme not just on stocks or companies which are listed on stock exchanges, but for those companies which are stock exchanges themselves. In most countries, there are just a handful of stock exchanges. And in some countries, there is just a single stock exchange. So in short, the stock exchange companies have a monopoly business and they do one of the most important business for the country's economy. So here we have a list of the features for the stock exchange companies. These are monopoly or oligopoly business. When I say monopoly or oligopoly, what I mean is monopoly contains a single firm that produces goods with no close substitute, while an oligopoly market has a small number of relatively large firms that produce similar but slightly different products. In both cases, there are significant barriers to entry for other enterprises. Next, trustworthiness is very important in this business. So you need to trust those stock exchange companies. Their business ethics, sense, and all those things has to be trustworthy. There needs to be long operating history for such players in this market. The performance of such businesses, right, are intertwined with country's economy, because most often uh, they actually represent the barometer for the country's economy. In US market, we have a few examples of the companies which are stock exchanges. Those are Nasdaq INC. In the bracket we have ticker for those stocks. Intercontinental Exchange ICE, CME Group CME, Cboe Global Market Cboe. So what are the revenue stream for such companies? There are primarily two major revenue streams for such companies: trading revenues and non-trading revenues. Let's take an example of Nasdaq. Nasdaq derives 35% of revenue from trading and remaining 65% from non-trading business. Now let's take a closer look, okay, at all those companies which are stock exchanges in US market. We will see here the Nasdaq, ICE, Cboe, and CME. One most common feature of such companies are the market capitalization. You can see here the market capitalization actually varies between almost $10 billion for Cboe to $60 billion for CME. So it looks like it would come under mid-cap category. And these companies are widely covered by Wall Street analysts. You can see the last row. Most of the companies are covered by almost 20 Wall Street analysts, which is a good thing for those companies. We will see the stock performance of such companies versus benchmark index return, which is S&P 500 index. So here we see that there are 4 different categorization of the stock return: 1-year return, 3-year return, 5-year return, and 10-year return. So when we talk about 1-year return, Nasdaq and ICE has outperformed S&P 500. Next, when we talk about 3-year return, we will see all companies except Cboe have outperformed S&P 500 index. So again it's very good performance so far. 5-year return, all companies have outperformed S&P 500 index. Okay. Next, 10-year return, all companies except CME have outperformed S&P 500 index. So quite good performance for all the 4 companies on that front. So far we have seen the high level group study of all those companies which are stock exchanges in US market. We will see now the specific detail about one stock, Nasdaq INC, okay, and we will review its investment potential. The background for this company is, this company was founded back in 1971. So this company has almost 49 years of operating history. It owns and operates Nasdaq Stock Exchange and 8 European stock exchanges as well. It is headquartered in NYC, USA. We will see next Nasdaq stock performance. So you can see the graph here. This actually plots the stock performance of Nasdaq INC since year 2003. So we have around 17 years of stock performance summary here for Nasdaq INC. So in 2003, this stock was getting traded at the level of $10. Now at this point of time, this stock is getting traded at $120. So almost 12 times return in the matter of around 17 years. So in matter of 17 years, 12 times return. Next, we will see the business segments for Nasdaq INC. So there are primarily 4 business segments for Nasdaq INC. Market services, which is its trading stream, and the other 3 which are its non-trading streams: corporate services, information services, market technology. This table gives you the breakdown of total revenue which Nasdaq derives from its different business segments. So market services, which is its trading stream, it accounts for around 35% of total revenue. Corporate services accounts for around 20% of total revenue. Information services, it accounts for 30% of revenue, and market technology accounts for 15% of total revenue. Next table tells you about revenue growth at the business segment level for Nasdaq INC for the last 5 years. Trading revenue, you can see here, The growth had been in a single digit, but it has been a bit volatile. But the drop in the revenue for trading revenue stream had not been very severe. The maximum drop in the revenue growth was 5% in year 2019. As we know that the stock market business is quite volatile and depends upon the bearish market and the bullish market sentiments. The next segment, which is non-trading revenue, you can see here it had actually a good revenue growth in the range of 4 to 14% over the last 5 years. This pie chart gives you a summary of Nasdaq performance versus its competitors in terms of net profit margin and its total cost. So Nasdaq outperforms its peers on net profit margin. Its net profit margin is around 17.2% versus 13.5% for its competitors, and total cost wise Nasdaq accounts for 82% and its peers accounts for 86% of total cost. Market data segment market share for Nasdaq has been quite decent. It controls around 27% of market share in market data segment, and remaining 72% is controlled by its competitors. We will see next Nasdaq INC fundamentals. So this table gives you and high level historical performance for Nasdaq INC on some of the important financial metrics. So the first, revenue growth CAGR for the 3 year has been around 7%, which is quite good in this industry. The EBITDA CAGR 3 year has been 4%. Net income CAGR 3 year has been 72%. Diluted EPS has been 72%. Leverage free cash flow 3 year CAGR has been 12%. Dividend yield 4 year CAGR has been 1.84%, and dividend growth 5 year CAGR has been 26.1%. This chart gives you Nasdaq INC business segment wise operating margin performance over last 5 years and EBITDA margin over the last 5 years. You can see for the market services segment, which is its trading division, both operating margin and EBITDA margin has been quite stable. The variations is very minimal, which is quite a good sign, and also the level of the margin is quite good. Operating margin has been above almost 55%, and EBITDA margin has been above 60%. Next, we will see business balance sheet of Nasdaq INC versus its peers. So trailing 12-month balance sheet for Nasdaq and its competitors. You can see here the current ratio for Nasdaq is almost 0.97, which is one of the lowest compared to its competitors, and its total debt to equity, which is 82.92, is also not that good compared to its competitors. But we will see next, even though the company has a higher debt, okay, and liquidity position is not that much good compared to its competitors, but still this company has some investment potential. This chart gives you the past 4-year total debt by EBITDA ratio for Nasdaq INC. So its total debt to EBITDA ratio has been in the range of 3. So if it tells you that even though the current debt to EBITDA ratio is 3, the same debt to EBITDA ratio was maintained during the last 4 years. So in that sense, the company financials is not that much bad. This graph tells you about return on capital for Nasdaq. So this will actually prove that why Nasdaq INC, even though it has a higher debt, but this company actually gives a good return on its higher debt capital. So Nasdaq actually currently the return on capital is around 7.4%, which is at almost all-time high level for the Nasdaq, and historically its ROC has been 7.2%. So current ROC is a bit higher than its historical ROC. So in that sense, the company is doing quite good. Okay, and for any company, okay, higher debt level is justified as long as return on capital is higher. Next, we will see Nasdaq INC valuation, and the first valuation we will do on price by earning parameter, P by E. The below line diagram tells you what is the P ratio for Nasdaq INC over past 5 years, and you will see here the average P has been in the range of 25 to 100, but we can just ignore the extreme P values and keep the moderate P values in this range. So you will be arrived at average P between 20 to 30 almost. So 5-year historical average P for Nasdaq INC is close to 32. The current P forward in US GAAP is 23.6, and in non-US GAAP is 21.37. And both of these P seems to be at a great discount from its historical P, which is 32. And also both P multiple is quite close to its peers CME, CBOI, Next valuation we will see on EV/EBITDA multiple. EV is your enterprise value. So this graph tells you about the past 4-year performance of Nasdaq INC, okay, on EV/EBITDA ratio. The current EV/EBITDA ratio for this company is 16.3. So in that sense, the company is at all-time high level of EV/EBITDA, and average EV/EBITDA for this company has been close to 13 times. So it appears to be priced currently above its historical average EV/EBITDA, but again is not that much higher, which is 16.3 times. Next we will see the valuation on price by sales multiple. So this graph tells you the past 4-year performance of Nasdaq INC in terms of its price by sales ratio. The current P by S is close to 4.3. If you compare this current P price by sales with its competitors, then Nasdaq INC is trading at a discount versus its peers ICE and CME. 4-year historical average price by sales is close to 3.5 for this company. So the current price by sales, which is 4.3 times, is almost close to its average price by sales for the past 4 years. Next we will see revenue outlook for medium term for Nasdaq INC. This revenue outlook has been provided by Nasdaq INC company themselves in their financial result. So here we have revenue outlook at its business segment level. So it appears to be in the range of 3 to 11% over the next 3 to 5 years, which is quite good.